Welcome to Huawei course HCNA Introduction to Storage, lab exercise 4.2, building an IP SAN in the Linux environment. First, we'll have to install iSCSI software into our Linux environment. So, step 1. Log into the Linux-based application server as user root. To check whether the iSCSI RPM package is already installed on the application server, run the following command. RPM space dash QA pipe grep space open dash iSCSI and press enter. The response the system gives you should be something similar you see in your view. Numbers may vary. So, if you get a positive response to this RPM command, go to step 4.2.1.2. If you get no response, go to step 3. Step 3. Install the Open iSCSI package. First, we're going to run the yast command in the CLI. You'll see the yast screen come to view. On the left part of your screen, navigate to Network Services. Then, on the right, select iSCSI Initiator and press Enter. The system will ask you if you want to install the selected software. Select Install and press Enter. Wait until the installation is complete. After this, you can select when the service should start. We're going to select the option when booting. You can optionally change the last part of the IQN. Press Alt+O to confirm the operation. Or navigate to OK and press Enter. Now quit the yast program and reboot your Linux host. After rebooting, which will take a couple of minutes, return to the CLI logged in as a user root. Exercise 4.2.1.2. Querying the name of an initiator. So, you're back in the command line interface, logged in as root. Now you're going to run a cat command on the file named initiatorname.iSCSI, which resides in the /etc/iSCSI directory. There may be several lines that come into view that will warn you not to edit or remove this file. But also it's possible that just the initiator name equals IQN.etc. comes into view. This should not be problematic, just as long as the initiator name equals IQN.etc. comes into view. The next step, configuring the iSCSI connection in the Linux environment. Step 1. If you're not already logged into your Linux-based application server as user root, please do so. To discover the iSCSI targets, run the following command. iSCSI ADM-M discovery-T st-p. After the P, type a space and then the IP address of the iSCSI host port on controller A, then enter. We'll wait for a bit. Then, when this action is completed, you can enter the same command again, but this time you will be using the IP address of the iSCSI host port on controller B. The prerequisite for this to happen is that the host can properly communicate with the iSCSI host port on the other controller. Our next step is to check the discovered targets. We're going to run the iSCSI ADM-M node command. 2 IQNs should come into view, connected to 2 IP addresses, or 4 as you can see in our example. The fourth step is to log into the target using the iSCSI ADM-M node-L command. Now that you've logged into your target, run the following command: iSCSI ADM-M session. You should see a response with the output like TCP followed by the IP address followed by the IQN, and this should be happening for both targets. For the record, the IP addresses used in this demonstration are not necessarily identical to the ones you should be using. Use the IP addresses that are provided by your instructor or check the device manager configuration. IP addresses used in this lab guide may not be correct for your situation. 4.2.2 Create the iSCSI host. In this section, you'll create a host for iSCSI. For this, you need to open the Ocean Store Device Manager. If you've already done so, go to step 1. On the right navigation bar, click the Provisioning button. Step number 2. In the Block Storage Service area in the lower part of your GUI, click Host. Step 3. Choose Create, and then select Manually Create. In the next window, in the Name text box, enter a name for the host. Optionally, enter a description for the host. In the OS section, select Linux. Step number 7, in the IP address field, enter the IP address of the host. When you've entered the IP address, click Next. In the Available Initiators area, select one or multiple initiators based on the services needed. Note, if, as you've done in the previous steps, the initiator information has been configured on the application server, the device manager can automatically detect the configured initiator. Then you only need to select the initiator information from the initiator list rather than manually creating it. So you may skip step 10 to 15. To further practice this lab, please continue to the next block.